Christians, my brother here is correct, although he might disagree as to how I calculate his assessment. So he says that the second resurrection is at the end of the 1,000-year reign. That I agree with. Then he says it's for the lost to be judged at the great white throne judgment. I agree with that too, except at the great white throne judgment, there will be the righteous and the unjust alike. And everyone will be judged, whether you are good or bad. Everyone will be judged. There is no part in the scripture where the Bible tells us that there's a separation of a separate judgment for the righteous and another one for the unrighteous. In fact, the Bible tells us that at the judgment, that the righteous and the unjust, the righteous and the unrighteous will be separated at judgment, separating the wheat from the tares, separation of the goat from the sheep. That's what we're told in the Bible. That's clear. I don't understand how people think otherwise. The great white throne judgment is not going to be just for wicked people. It's going to be for all people. And that is when the great separation is going to take place at the great assize, which is the resurrection of the just and the unjust appearing before Christ at the great white throne to be judged for that which was done in the body. Now, back up to the second resurrection taking place at the end of the 1,000-year millennial reign. It is true. This is very true. And the fact of the matter is, all that is left in the prophetic calendar, if you will, is that Christ is going to return, and his return will be at the end of the 1,000-year millennial reign, which is right now, in this gospel era that we live in right now. This period that we live in right now, this current gospel era, is what is symbolized in Revelation by the 1,000-year reign. And so Christ right now, having resurrected and ascended and is at the right hand of the Father on his throne of glory right now, he is ruling and reigning over the earth right now, Satan having been subdued at Calvary. And particularly when Christ came out of that grave, he swallowed up death in victory, or at least in terms of Satan. But the death being ultimately swallowed up in victory will take place at the end of this gospel era, which is the 1,000-year period, which is symbolized in Revelation as the gospel era that we live in right now. So the second resurrection will take place at that time, and the second resurrection for the righteous is what happens at the end of the 1,000-year period, but the second death is what happens for those who are unrighteous. And that also takes place at the end of the 1,000-year period, when all of mankind stand before Jesus Christ at the great white throne judgment to receive the rewards for that which was done in the flesh, good or bad. Be provoked and be persuaded.